My name is Emmanuel Antigua. I'm from Boca Raton, Florida, and I play shortstop and I pitch.
It's shortstop all summer. You're just showing some athleticism right there.
Emmanuel Antigua. Emmanuel takes the opportunity as the West team peers over that rail at the dugout. Nobody sits in this event. Manny out of Boca Raton, Florida, as that one is high. Oakley Spikes, Florida Pokers, a couple of his travel teams. Manuel, his dad, Alexandra, his mom. We got to meet the family last night. Is his glove that good? Is it that good?
It's that good. It's so smooth, and the arm is what really separates him, especially at this age, where a lot of focus is really on the fundamentals, making sure their feet are under them, getting in the cage, making sure we're developing the bat. So the arm is sometimes the last thing to develop here, and he gets rid of it so quickly and gets on top of the throws, and you can see it. If he gets a chance to get in that 6-hole and let one go, you're really going to see something special at this age, and we will see it on the mound. He should run his fastball, in the low 80s, and he's actually got a really tight slider that has some depth. So we'll get to see that arm strength, but I'd really like to see it from the infield if he gets that chance.
Trahan with a heck of a breaking ball a moment ago, and now he goes from breaking ball down and in flash to elevated fastball up and away.
Yeah, that makes every pitching coach I know excited, and every time you see stuff like this, you're willing to see that some young kids right now.
Brendan Lewis gets his opportunity out of California, Santee, California. Danny and Kara are his parents. This is the National Player of the Year. With the runner on the move, pitch boring in on his hands. It's popped up left side, over, under, out. That one is put up.
Big, physical, left-handed hitter. Costello with an absolute strike down to second base and a
before his arm and body would catch up. He stays behind the ball very well. That's a quality breaking ball.
Bo Peterson goes after the first pitch, puts it on the ground, rolls it off to the right side. Manny Lantigua, the Gold Glove winner last night, puts that one into the books. 4-3, 13.
Welcome back. The West leads the East here at the 13U Perfect Game Select Fest 2-0. Manny Lantigua on the mound for the East team, and I had a lengthy conversation with him yesterday, Darren, about his mom, Alexandra, his role model and the impact that she's had on him. He told me she's an extremely hard worker, and also we saw Manny Lantigua at the 14U showcase. I said, what is the motivation behind doing that? You are younger than these guys. He said, I wanted to know how he stacked up. I met older guys, and he also told me he learned he's got to work on his off-speed pitching and hitting that. Both parents born in the Dominican Republic, but Manny born in Brooklyn, New York. Darren.
Yeah, it's great stuff, and taking on an older showcase. His self-scouting report, and I quote, guys, I consider that I have great hands on the field, great arm speed for my age. I can pick it up with my glove. I move well through the ball. I can make some plays and get to some balls that most can't. I'm blessed with my arm. Sometimes coaches, they start celebrating, and then I'm safe. And there I go with my throw, and nope, you're not safe. Out by a mile. He's proud of his arm. How does that arm translate into pitching, guys?
This spring I saw him, he actually pitched a ton of stress-filled innings. He was the guy in the one-run game late that would have to come in and get those last 3 or 4 outs, sometimes coming right from shortstop to go to the mound. And he relies on that big fastball that I think is going to continue to progress, obviously, with maturity and as he fills out. But it was the breaking ball that sometimes would be the difference maker. And it's actually a pitch that shows some depth, ran it into the low 70s, which is really good for this age. So it is a two-way, definitely a two-way future for this kid. But I would agree with him. It's the arm that you go, wow.
Shane Parker is his foe. Slightly open stance. Great athletic family as that one sails behind his back as he manages to get out of the way. When I say athletic, his mom is Nia, stepdad is Rob, and his dad actually played college baseball at Alcorn State, and his brother still plays. His brother Jar, 5th year of college at Grambling State, playing baseball, all SWAC first team as a freshman. So he's got an older brother who he can talk to, learn a little bit about the game. Shuffling on across the diamond, the play. They get him that time. Meet C.J. Sampson. You saw him earlier as a starting pitcher in this game as Sampson takes a good, lively fastball. Folks, 86 miles an hour, by the way. That's about the high water mark in this game. With dive, too. I mean, 86 with two-seam life to it.
Yeah, with Manny there, I think that's one of the best fastballs in regard we're seeing at this age. And it's downhill. good frame, tall body, has to locate with that sinker, but has a really good plan for what he wants to do with it. So it gives him the best chances because he utilizes his changeup and utilizes his slider and his fastball at 96 miles an hour. Sometimes kids at this stage may not catch up to that.
Yeah, and he's actually grabbed multiple 87s here, which we talked about the arm, and he's kind of at least banging that drum and making us look pretty good when we talk about just the pure arm speed with him.
Kevin Bruno, the left fielder, making the play for that one. 85, 86, 87, as we talked about. Here's the motion, guys.
And look at when he gets back and starts to get to this process. I mean, that arm speed is legit at this age, and we're just talking about now.
And easy. If you look at that, he's still staying tall and over the backside of the rubber. You know, that terminology today should be used a whole lot more, but there's a kid right there already understands that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's clean, and it's just a quick arm. And you can see it's going to be just more kind of organic growth here. I mean, just let the maturity happen, get in the weight room, and there's that breaking ball at 77 miles an hour that I talked about with actual depth at 13 years old. This is kind of special right here.
Trahan with a leg kick. Ethan, who pitched very effectively, showed a wicked slider as a left-handed pitcher. Looks at 86, up and away. This was the MVP of the West Memorial Day Classic put on by Perfect Game, and he's been all tournament team list as well for the PG World Series. Chokes up on the bat as he uses it on a 1-1 count. An aggressive swing, but he comes up empty again. That's a lively 86.
Listen, that's pretty good quality right there when you're talking about it. We've got angle. We're going straight down in the zone. Really well located. That's just a tough pitch at any age level, and this is just impressive what we have going on there. And there's that slider again at 80 miles an hour to the
that ain't fair.
Back foot slider. Hey, by the way, folks, this pitcher is the best defensive infielder. And as Flash Gordon said very clearly, that's not fair.
Hitter right here, Mr. Lantigua, was so impressive earlier on the mound, running that fastball up to 87, throwing that last pitch that kind of to the back foot on an 80-mile-an-hour slider to end his inning on the mound. Now he's got a shot here to come up and be the hero to the East and tie this ball game, Flash.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, you hear it so many times, and I know, of course, with all of us being around baseball, the best players, they rise to the occasion. And right here, he has a chance to win this game, but also put the team at a tie. So, good player, quality hitter. His routine for batting practice, it's just like what you would see at a professional level ball field. So, let's see if he put everything together and that translates into a hit.
Manny Lantigua, as the guys were talking about, takes the first swing over the top of a diving fastball down and away. 77 miles an hour. Manny had one of the more impressive innings as a pitcher, though he is a middle infielder by trade, and the Rawlings Defensive Player of the Year, winning that fabulous trophy last night as that one sails inside.
I got to tell you, a couple of these guys, and Jack Armijo, one of them, showing a little toughness, you know, and that's one of the things we talk about when we talk about the 5 tools. The most important tool might be that 6th tool, and that's character. And when we talk about character comes toughness, perseverance, everything. And Armijo kind of getting back on the mound and working to power through this inning is really good to see in a young player.
I've always thought that. You know, seeing young players play, you can tell by their potential, their skill set, how well they play in the game. It takes one uncircumstanced moment, a moment that the kid that, you know, it's almost like you don't want to see him into. But now he has to roughly pitch himself through it, get himself out of situation. Every day in professional ball, you don't feel good as a pitcher, but probably your best start is when you're not feeling as good. You try to find ways to make yourself a little bit better each and every time. So,
On 3-2, that's outside. That's ball 4. Sheffield earns the walk. Come on down. The run scores. Lantigua, who was hit by a pitch. So a patient inning. Sheffield, again, who knocked one off the wall first at bat, patiently watches that one